To South Africa now, where the Democratic Alliance has asked the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, to act without fear or favour when he releases the SIU report on the Tembisa Hospital payments, which were flagged by murdered whistleblower Babita Deokaran. The scandal has been linked to some high ANC members and high-level accomplices, including President Cyril Ramaphosa's nephew, whose companies were linked to contracts worth 381 million rand in the last 3 years from Gauteng public hospitals. The DA wants Premier Lesufi to immediately blacklist all implicated companies so that they never sell again to any Gauteng hospital. Jack Bloom, DA, Gauteng Shadow Health MEC, joins me to unpack this latest development. Thank you for joining in, Jack.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good to be with you.
All right, so let's get to it. Now, for the sake of our viewers, briefly tell us about the details of the Tembisa scandal.
Well, Tembisa is a very large hospital east of Johannesburg, and there was a whistleblower in the Gauteng Health Department who was murdered, and she tried to stop payments to very fishy companies by this hospital, hundreds of payments worth hundreds of millions of rand, and she was murdered. It turns out, with work by very good journalists, that there are senior ANC-linked businessmen who have made a lot of money out of grossly overcharging for goods sold to this hospital. And the Special Investigation Unit is going to release a report tomorrow, which the Premier is going to make public, the Premier of Gauteng. And I'm hoping that once and for all, the corruption will be cleared up in the Gauteng Health Department, because people are suffering in hospitals. And here you have business and making huge amounts of money. I think there need to be criminal prosecutions. I think that they obviously had accomplices in the department and in the hospital, and that these officials need to be suspended, disciplined, and criminally charged as well, and that hopefully we get honest and competent people in future.
All right, just talking about making public. Now, the SIU report will be out soon. What are your expectations? Because we know that some of the people linked to the scandal are high-profile people. Do you think they'll be held accountable?
Well, that's why I've called on the Premier to act without fear or favour, and that they must be held accountable. Look, I certainly hope he does so. I'm sure the evidence is going to be absolutely damning. And if the ANC wishes to have credibility in this province, I think they've got to be seen to act. But it mustn't be a half-hearted measure. I mean, we need to see criminal prosecution. We need to see these companies must never, ever again get a contract from a Gauteng public hospital. So hopefully we can read for ourselves what the report actually says. And according to the evidence, the Gauteng provincial government must act. What else would you expect from a competent government?
Now, slightly away from this, let's look at it holistically. The healthcare system in South Africa, has had its fair share of challenges: load shedding, lack of health personnel, and adequate proper health systems, amongst others. What exactly is the government lacking in its responsibility to provide service to its people, particularly in the area of health?
Well, you would expect that Gauteng, with the major cities like Johannesburg, would be able to offer a decent health service. The Gauteng health budget is actually enormous, but it's just spent very badly. There's been a history of corruption scandals, and I believe that there's been political protection for certain businessmen and certain officials, and that's why the corruption continues. So this Special Investigation Unit report that is going to be made public tomorrow is an opportunity to start clearing up the corruption, but it's just focused on one hospital, Tembisa Hospital. I think that this corruption scam is happening at all the public hospitals. So I'm calling on the President of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, because he's got that power, to use his proclamation powers to extend the investigation to all public hospitals. It's just so terrible to see a province that should be leading in healthcare for for its citizens, lagging behind because of the massive corruption and wastage of money. And they could do so much better if they just spent the money properly and without, thievery, quite frankly.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Jack Bloom, DA, Gauteng Shadow Health MEC. Thank you for joining me.